We're going to move on. I'm hoping we're going to move on to MotherKnows, but yes, we are. So we're going to move on to our, I guess, penultimate startup in this session. Please welcome to the stage Greg Goff, the co-founder and CEO of MotherKnows.
Heskey.
Oh, and also Heskey Kutcher, the co-founder too. Whistling is good as well. Yeah, whistling's fine.
Thank you. So hi, I'm Heskey. This is my co-founder Greg. And this, hold on, we'll wait for it. This is my daughter Eliana. She's 2.5 years old. This is her health record. Now, we all know what the nightmare scenario is, right? Mom's away, daughter's with a caregiver, or worse, with a far less informed dad, and we have to take her to the emergency room. Now, how many people in the audience are parents? Show of hands. All right, so how many of you would know what's the last immunization your kid had if you were asked in the emergency room? Right. Imagine having access to all your kid's critical medical information available to you in your pocket, accessible anytime from anywhere. Luckily, 2 years ago, a law passed which says you now own your medical records. And once a proper release is signed, a doctor has to provide it to you in a timely fashion. We intend to take full use of this new law and bring electronic medical records to the masses, starting with those who need it most, busy, caring moms. I'm here to introduce MotherKnows.com, a subscription service that's going to provide to you all this information available from a secure website and a mobile app. So let's take a look at the product. So as you can see here, what you're focused on and what parents will be focused on are the immunizations, the growth charts, the last milestones, and it will not be your cholesterol levels, which most peer charts would show you. But let's take a deeper dive into the immunizations. Now, to all of those who don't have kids, what you don't realize is they constantly ask you for this information. Daycare, sports team, it doesn't matter. You always need to have access to it, and it's annoying. You now see the full history of the immunization. You could print it, you have the backup PDF from the doctors, or you could email it to the daycares as well. So the other part, which we're going to show you now, are the growth charts. I like to call this section the daddy section because it seems that's all dads care about. How big is my kid, right? And how well does he compare? Oops. No, we're still at the growth charts. How well does he compare to the rest of to the mean? And so all of this will be provided to you, and you could even compare it to siblings. See their growth charts versus the brothers and sisters, or share it with their friends. So we already preempted it. Obviously, this is going to be available for you at an iPhone app, and if you could look at it closely, all the elements from the web is available for you in your fingertips. Now, remember that emergency situation we just spoke about? Well, to all you less informed dads, fear no more. That information is a fingertip away. And when asked, you now know. But why stop there? This happens to be also the most popular camera in the world. So we figured, why not help you track all these important developmental milestones? Again, all of that is just a snap. And then you upload it. You could share it with your pediatrician, or share it with your friends later on. All right, so how does all this magic happen? So what happens is once you come to our website and sign up, you have to sign an electronic release. We in turn take that release, send it to your doctor, and your doctor will now use a new technology we like to call the fax. That's how the vast majority of doctors give you your medical records. I wish it was electronic. And we ingest it. We've built a system to ingest all these faxes. Our customer service team will take out all the data layers that you just guys saw, and we will upload it for you. The key is it's effortless for the customer. Now, just so we're crystal clear to all you cautious parents out there, we are HIPAA compliant, and actually we've added extra special layers of security to make sure that even the most cautious of parents will feel good with it. So why did we start with it? So let's talk about what's out there today. So currently, we find that the existing players have 3 fatal flaws. The first, as in the case of Google Health or Microsoft Health Vault, you have to enter all the information yourself. Anyone want to do that for this file? I don't think so. The second, if in the rare case that a provider actually provides you these records online, you only see that specific provider. Who here has only just one doctor? And last but not least, all of these providers have a UI that is geared to whether you're 2 or 82. So whether you're a parent, it doesn't really apply to you. MotherKnows is full service, it's no effort, and it's consumer-centric, targeted at parents. So quickly, let's talk about the marketplace. 25 million moms living in the US, they spend $5 to $10 billion in the first year of a baby's life. And you know, it seemed like an obvious place for us to start. Now, the other reason to start with mothers is we actually know where they coalesce. There's lots of strong baby sites, and we are already working on some co-marketing partnerships with them. Now, we believe that health is the last space to have yet been impacted by the digital revolution. And while we're going to start with parents, we're going to continue on to other members of the family, like seniors and parents, etc. We are MotherKnows. We are here to organize the kids' health, one busy, frazzled parent at a time. Now, for TechCrunch Disrupt, we have a special offer. Our business model is that we're a subscription-based service. So after a setup fee, the cost will be roughly a cost of latte a month. But for the first 100 users that sign up today on MotherKnows.com, you'll get the first year free. Thank you very much.
MotherKnows. Gender stereotyping.
All right.
Okay, all-male judging panel, what do you think?
Bring it on.
Well, I think it goes to Tony's user-centric. It's simple. It's a huge market. The question is mind share. How do you get like those first adopters? And once they do get that information, are they going to engage in that? That's the big question. So what are the plans for getting people engaged in the app, or do you care? Like, what's the point? What do you want people to do?
Well, from a customer acquisition standpoint, how do we reach the customer? There's some very obvious partners. There's very large publishers who touch a lot of these people. And Greg's background, he was head of marketing at Baby Center, the largest website for expecting mothers. And so we know where to find these mothers. And we know what apps to provide to them. And we're already working on some partnerships actually with some really big players to provide it to them.
What's the first thing what is it that makes them go, like, thank God I have this? What's the aha moment? What's the thing that you're pitching that just makes the mom go, gotta have it?
Well, it's all this immunization record that they're always writing about getting the right immunizations. When do I have to get the right immunization? There's a crazy statistic out there. 21% of kids actually have to get re-immunized because their records get lost, and 30% are under-immunized because they're shipped to doctors and there was no idea of who immunized what. So that's a big pain point for parents, and it's clearly a huge need. The other part is the growth charts. Their parents are obsessed with it. They constantly like to look. Let's be honest, they like to compare it with each other. I mean, that's just how it works these days.
Yeah, I'm not sure. In our household, we have a son who's height challenged, and so I don't know how often I want to look at that chart. And again, I ask my wife. I go, "What are you doing wrong?" And so you're challenged. I mean, I would like. Yeah, I'm challenged in other ways.
Yeah. What's our answer to that?
It's not about me. It's about him. So I'm trying to think through. I love that, but I don't know if I would go to that. So I'm still trying to think of the one killer thing that I want to drive users from.
Yeah,
from the app.
It's just conceptually the idea of wanting to be well informed all the time. It's inherent in mothers. It's not something, when we've gone out and talked to them face to face, it's not something where we have to go into all this detail to describe what this is about. They get it pretty fast. The idea that I could have all my kids' medical records at my fingertips is pretty instantly compelling.
No, but I don't mean to hog the panel. So it's just to get them to input the stuff is all that matters to you, or?
Well, we're going to do all the work.
Data in. They don't have to do any work. They just subscribe.
Tony, you were going to?
Yeah. So kudos. I think I love the URL. That is a great name.
Thank you.
So that's the first.
But didn't
thing.
you think it was going to be a way for like your Jewish mother to check in on what you were doing or something like that?
I don't know. And I love the focus on the end user, and it sounds like you have the right team to kind of go after this. There are two things that I think you need to be upfront about. So I think users are going to go through another wave of getting burned, and they need to be reassured what happens to this data. So you're asking me to put a lot of information up here, and it's not about getting burned that the wrong people get access to it. What happens if you go out of business? What happens if you fail? I want that data, right? I've just put my first mod, just put all that information. So how do I control it? That's my first question. The second question is, I think your UI is not worthy of the quality of the idea and the focus of the idea. And if you go back to Mint, I think they nailed it, right? It was beautiful. You look forward to using it. Instagram, you look forward to using it. Your UI isn't there.
So actually on the Mint, Jason Potorti, who designed Mint, looked at this and loved it on Wednesday. He thought we really did it justice. So that's just a funny anecdote. Look, the beauty's in the eye of the beholder, so I can't argue with what is pretty, but we worked pretty hard at it. As far as it, actually, we're going to allow people to print out all the records, to download it. We're going to build some things in there to make it terrifically available for parents if something would happen. We're not in it just for the money. We're here to make the world a better place. And so we've thought about these things in advance. We actually thought of adjusting our data to what HealthVault does to make sure that at the worst case scenario, we could serve our customers. We just don't want to keep our customers in the...
And what is the business idea down the road? So what is the business idea around it?
So as far as how we make money?
Yeah.
It's really simple. It's a subscription service. There's a setup fee, and it's a cost of $49 a year. $49 a year. Wow.
Yeah, I would make it free. And I'd make it completely free. And I think you got to focus on things that are going to make the user come back all the time, the mom and the dad. I think what the magic of Babysitter is, it starts even before the kid is born, and you're on there, and you're saying, hey, we're having a baby at this date, and you just have to go there every month to get your new, that feedback loop. And I'm afraid with this, I put in all this great data, or my wife does, or I do, and then you kind of don't have to touch it till the kid goes to preschool or nursery or kindergarten, and you're not hitting it every day. And so I'm kind of thinking about what else can you put in this service where I'm going there all the time, and I would start even before the kids born. I mean, all due respect to Babysitter, it hasn't really changed that much in 10 years. I mean, maybe there's a mobile version of it that's more contemporary, it's more user-centric, but you need community features. Like it's missing a bunch of stuff, and not from a feature standpoint, but from an engagement standpoint.
Totally get it. So first of all, I think there's maybe something that was missed. You don't do any work. The whole beauty of this is you can sit back and relax, and we do all the work for you.
That's problematic.
So that's the second thing is the whole milestone app, where you could track all the developmental milestones of your kids and enter it. That happens on a regular basis. The reality of this is really an insurance for the parents. So when they need it, they have it.
That's 5 seconds. I just want to.
That's the number one fear.
Actually, what Bijan said.
Okay,
so, yeah.
Perfect. Big round of applause then for MotherKnows. I love it when the entrepreneurs find new and interesting ways to say fuck you to the judges. That was good. Actually, we had the Mint guy look at it, and he said